Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw him, you would even say it glows like a light bulb. But how is that possible? How does a nose glow like a light bulb? Like, what's it connected to? As an electrical engineering major, I feel like I should know the answer to this question, but I don't. I don't really know much of anything, you know? Like this lab I had this past week, I don't know what's going on. This lab we have this next week, I don't know what's going on. But I should. I'm going to get a certification in a few months that's going to say I know all this stuff. And I do. I'm learning. I'm learning. But not because I'm being taught, just because like I'm going through trials and tribulations, folks, you know? Is this really going to happen? Is every week I'm just going to complain about this lab? Because there's this one class, you know, the other one? The unfavorite. Actually, it's not even the unfavorite child. It's like I have that one like shy kid. It's not really intent. Like he doesn't really have a personality yet. You can't really figure out his interest. He's just kind of there, and you're like, okay, you're low maintenance, so you're okay. But then you got this real rowdy motherfucker right here, you know? And I'm like, god damn. All right, Oedipus. That was a big brain joke. If you got that, shout out to you. And shout out to our school system for teaching us, you know, to read all that stuff in high school. It's really paying off now, so you can get these highbrow jokes in college students' podcast. But yeah, now I got this real rowdy kid, and every week, oh man, this kid is acting up. I feel like those parents, you know, they go to, what is it? You go and get dinner with your parent friends, and then you all just complain about your kids and your spouses if they're not present, and it's just, you shit on your family, and you eat like fish and chips, and then you do this awkward like paycheck shuffle where it's like, I got it. No, you got it last week. Marie, hand it over here, you know? The boss has been treating me well. You know, pass that little slip of paper over here. It won't make a dent. It won't make a dent. Now stop it. You indulge, huh? You have a good day. Fuck you, Marie. We said we were going to go separate. And now we're at the restaurant, you're changing your tone, doing this, I'll take care of it. No, I don't want to owe you, okay? It's like that episode from The Office. I watched this highlight clip today. That episode from The Office where Dwight goes to New York to buy everyone bagels, and then Andy starts doing good deeds in return, or favors in return, because he's like, well, if someone does a good deed for me, I got to pay him back instantly. I can't snap with his hand. He got to do it instantly. And then it's just this, you know, that's the comedy of it. They just keep trying to do good deeds for each other because they want, well, Dwight wants everyone to owe him one, and Andy wants, you know, if someone dies, he doesn't want to have owed them one. That's what it says in the show. And so, you know, now Marie's got me in this Cupid shuffle, you know? I love her, but god damn it, Marie. Don't be passing this shit around, okay? We said separate checks, and now you're changing the tone. How about next time you won't be picking up your phone? Because I won't be calling you, Marie. Okay? Shape up, Marie. Shape up. Shape ups were a shoe that Peyton Manning like did ads for like years ago, and I was like, why are they getting football players to like sponsor shape ups? Like, are they really? And shape ups have now disappeared. So I mean, I guess, you know, Peyton's not in the NFL anymore, so I guess he's, you know, in essence disappeared, because football players' entire personality, you know, is being a football player. So once you're out of the game, then what do you offer to society, really? You know? And we're talking about, but this lab, so we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about my stupid kid that's been acting up. Ugh. God, you know what? I knew we should have not done that night, you know? Done the dirty. I want to make a joke. Okay, here's something. I didn't make a video this week. I think there'll be a video by next week, because there was a thing that happened on Instagram. I don't know if you follow my Instagram, but if you do, you saw it. I won't talk about it much here because that video is just about it. And I want to make a joke, but it like relates to that video, so I can't, even though it wouldn't matter. But Yeah, I wish I didn't spend some time in the visitor parking lot and Central Park, which in a week, that joke will make sense. Okay? Because now I got this kid running around. I'm like, God damn it. But this kid, oh my God, it's the worst. So I show up, and I told you last week, I got this challenge thing figured out. We show up, we do the challenge. It's these 5 questions. I got it figured out. Boom, boom, boom. We spend 20 minutes doing this, 10 minutes doing this, 5 minutes, and then we present. I got it figured out now. Okay, whoa. Change everything up. That's not how it works this week. I know. Pump the brakes. What the hell's going on? This amount of variability? What is this? A high-end buffet? You're getting different options every week? This is incredulous. I don't know what that word means. I want to look it up because that's actually a really good word. And once upon a time, in a world or a galaxy far, far away, I knew what that word meant, incredulous. But I no longer know what it means. Unwilling or unable to believe something. Oh, yeah. No, I used it right. This is incredulous. I show up and they change up the game, They remind me of this bitch, Marie. I don't know if I've told you about her. Oh my God. She's always changing shit up. But, she says one thing, does another. It's like, come on, Marie. Why do you think you don't get invited to things, huh? But I show up and, well, no, I don't show up. But the day before, I read online, assignment 2, and there's some, little instruction thing right by the PDF that you have got to download. And the instructions say, watch these tutorial videos and be really familiar with something called, I2C implementation. And I go to these 5, I find out there's 5 tutorial videos. I'm like, oh, great. Click on, you do the thing, you open a new tab, all of them, just so you have them all there. And I go through and I count up their minutes, and it's 45 minutes of video I gotta watch. And you might think, okay, 45 minutes, no prob, watch that shit at 2 times speed. Now we're talking 23-ish, right? 22 and a half, not bad. But these tutorials are one of those interactive ones, where each time they do something, you follow along. First you gotta download the software, which they don't even tell you how to download or where to download or what version. Also, this is engineering, so all this shit is way behind. This one software we use, Altium, the software version they use is from I think 4 years ago or something. It's very old. So when I was doing it on my current version of Altium, it was not lining up. The properties tab on the right, completely different than my properties tab, So, but it's engineering. So as long as these tutorials are able to be used without an incredible, mishap, they're going to keep using this shit. That's how engineering is, If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it's bad, you could repair it. If it's a little broken, you can maybe, it's called maintenance. Motherfuckers, you heard of it? Don't wait till, that's the thing. You're not going to wait till you get a complete flat tire to change it. If that shit starts getting a little deflated, maybe go check in on it. Pump that with some air, check those PSIs. Don't let that shit explode before, you take care of it. But classic engineers, we got to let this shit blow up before we're like, okay, yeah, we should probably look at it now. But this is the worst. I click on all these and 45 minutes and you got to follow along the whole thing. So I didn't get through all of it the night before. So I show up to my challenge group the next day, and the first thing you got to do is everyone's got to plug in and fire up the accelerometer. It's a component. You don't need to know what it does because, hey, guess what? I wouldn't be able to tell you. But you fire up this accelerometer. You just prove it works. Everyone in your group's supposed to do it. You're in this group of 5. And see, this is the challenge assignment for this week's lecture. Last week it was the 5 questions. Now this is this thing. You all fire this up, and then once you prove it works for your whole group to each other, then you start on this challenge problem. And this challenge problem is something stupid where it's a volcano's about to erupt. And you got to figure this out so it doesn't erupt. And I've noticed engineering professors do this, and I hate it. They try to make the assignment fun sounding. I had a professor about a year ago, and on a midterm, he used there were these three like variables, but he made it fun by calling them Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. And I was like, I hate you so much. Because here I am taking this final. I have no idea what I'm doing. You know, like one of the last question is like, you can try this problem and get an extra point, but if you get it wrong, you get -2 points. So here I am, stressed out of my goddamn mind, and this motherfucker is like, oh, look, I use Pokemon names. Isn't this fun now? I'm like, no, you idiot. I'm still going to write them as A, B, C when I'm trying to figure out the problem. You're only making this shit more confusing by using made-up names from a video game. That's right, I love Pokemon. But guess what? Those are made-up digital monsters. Don't think this makes you cool. You're a nerd. John. Okay, sorry. But I hate when engineering professors do this. They try to like make it fun. And I'm like, don't make it fun. Just make it fucking work. Okay? So yeah, there's this thing about like a volcano's about to erupt. I'm like, okay, get on a plane and leave. What's the deal? You know? I can't stop that. That's Mother Nature, okay? We haven't been very nice to her. It's time she gets some vengeance, you know? What is it? Yeah. Vindication? This is just Mother Nature getting some sweet, sweet vindication, you know? Been sucking at the teat for too long. It's time she slaps us. What's up? But yeah, we do the accelerometer part, but we don't. Here's the thing. You're supposed to do that. That's supposed to be like, you sit down and as you're like putting your backpack down, you kind of do it quick. Before, you know, it's kind of like the little like, okay, just a check. No one could even get through that. Because that required you to watch the tutorials, completely understand them, and then implement it properly on the newest version of the software. And then, you know, then do the challenge problem. Like that's really like the what is it? The prereq to do the challenge problem. Just make sure this one thing works. And the professor, I think, thought, you know, this wasn't going to be a big deal because when you read the assignment, there's a grading rubric. And for these challenge things, you can get a total of 5 points. That's how much, like, if that you get full credit, you get 5 out of 5. Well, this is how they had it set up. This is how it was read. The first 3 groups to complete this challenge problem get 5 out of 5 for the day. The next 3 groups get 4 out of 5. The next 3 groups get 3 out of 5. And then if your thing works, but you were not in the top first 9 groups to finish, you get a 2 out of 5. And then if it, you know, works, but you know, you got some, like if you tried it, but there's some glitches, you get a 1 out of 5. And then if you don't do it, you get a 0 out of 5. That's if you don't show up. So you're pretty much guaranteed a 1 out of 5. But they had this idea, you know, that it was going to be a race. It was going to be close. For these 50 minutes, ooh, man, people are going to be really working hard and trying to get this done. And it even said on the right side, you know, no one's allowed to leave this classroom until everyone in this lab finishes this. And so when you finish, when your group finishes, the idea was you go to another group and you help them finish. Which is weird because we're college students. I don't think we really need other people's help to finish yet, if you know what I mean. But that's the idea. So here's the thing. They thought the top 9 groups were really going to be racing to finish this. And then they were like, no one leaves this class until you all finish. Well, guess what? 50 minutes elapse. Time runs out on lecture. And guess what? No one even started the challenge. We were all so fucked up on the accelerometer part, the little warm-up part, we didn't even start the challenge. So the professor hasn't talked to us this entire time. He just kind of with the TAs, they're just talking about some bullshit. And then the time hits and he just leaves the classroom. And I'm like, what the fuck? What do we do now? And so one of the TAs, she takes hold of the classroom. She says, okay, so here's what we're going to do. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. None of you motherfuckers finish this shit. She didn't say that. But she was like, okay, how about this? You will have until the end of the day to submit this. Because none of you did it. So just keep working. If you have another class, you can totally go to it. We're not going to do that weird thing where we lock you in the class until you all finish like we initially said we were going to, because, oh wow, we did not think you were all not going to get this. So like, if you need to leave, leave. If not, stick around. And so we stayed because I was already going to stay. Like, that's my lab section. And I stay, and I'm still working on the tutorials because I didn't finish from the night before. My group's working on the challenge problem. Other people are working on, other stuff. And meanwhile, like, this is just the challenge. This was supposed to be finished in lecture and then be done with. But then there's the whole lab 2. That's what's due every Wednesday. And so that, no one even got started because by the end of these 3 hours, this lab, no one had still finished the challenge. So what I'm saying is that every single group in the class worked on this challenge problem for 4 hours, and not a single group came close to finishing. And if you remember the instructions in the grading rubric they gave us, this was supposed to be a rat race for about 40 minutes for everyone to finish. Everyone was going to finish this in like 50 minutes. But we all took 4 hours and still couldn't finish that shit. And I'm sure the professor sees no fucking problem with this. And it sucks because it took up our lab time, which is like, that's the time I would have used to work on the lab that's due for homework, but I couldn't because we had to finish this challenge thing. And that's the only time we get, that's the one day of the week we do that. And then you got to figure all that shit out. So at the end of the lab, I like connected with my group. I was like, okay, let's exchange information because we have to do this shit remotely now because, this was our time. And it was spent, getting halfway through that bullshit. So yeah, week 3 in a row where the professor hasn't really talked to us and has just given us an impossible task. So it's going well. It's so stupid. It's so bullshit. I don't, like... Also, this week, the challenge problem was all coding. And I was there was this girl I was talking to, and she said, oh, how's school? And I was telling her about the senior project, and she was like, wait. You're CS? I was like, oh, no. No, I'm not. She's like, oh, you're CSE, Computer Science and Engineering. I was like, oh, no, not that either. And she's like, well, what's your major? I was like, electrical engineering. And she's like, then why are you coding? And I was like, yes. I know, right? You and me. Same question. You're what? You're human development? I'm electrical engineering? We have the same questions. Look at us, huh? 2 of the same. True Aggies. Asking the hard-hitting questions. But yeah, no, it's very clear. I've gotten to know through engineering that you can't run away from software. I've had multiple people tell me that, I think it's better you just come to terms with software getting its grimy little hands and everything than running away, because guess what? It's in everything. Software, or like coding and programming, is like the coronavirus of the engineering world. It's just in everything at this point, Just acknowledge it at this point. Don't try to avoid it or say it doesn't exist. Just understand that it exists and it'll be easier to move on in the world, That's right. Programming is just like coronavirus. Except in coronavirus, all you think about is like, I need to stay alive. Whereas in programming, all you think about is, I want to fucking kill myself. Sorry. Oh boy. I don't know if I've told you this joke, but I've told a couple people this joke, but it's like, why do software engineers get paid so much? It's so they can afford nice shoes and therapy. That's right. I don't know if I've said that here, but I have that as a joke. So you get that one for free. Boom. Look at you. Premium content, I should make you pay for this. Just like I made Marie pay for that shit. Yeah, that's right. Fuck you, Marie. I don't know where this Marie character came from. But wherever she came from, she better go back because she's ruined my life. So yeah, that's my little school update. I got midterms next week. How exciting. That's actually why I go to school, so I can do that. And, you know, the day this comes out, it will mark the 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks? Yeah, 3 weeks since I posted a YouTube video. So that sucks. um, have I talked about this here? Like, I get real stressed out when it gets closer and closer to a month since I posted. I think I've only done it twice. There's only been like 2 times where a month will transpire or pass or whatever before posting. It was like I talked about it before I posted like my UC Davis day in the life video, and then I think it was like this time last year. There was like a solid month where I didn't really post because I was working on like the Christmas music video and stuff, and then like school. So that's like I guess where I am again. Um, I like just school is so much like school and work. Like I didn't even work. I mean, I worked for like the school social media, but it wasn't like a super high um, time commitment. But like this time, man, I'm getting yanked all over the place. Uh, I was telling someone earlier this week. I was like, these first 2 weeks of school or these first 2 weekends of the quarter, they've been pretty busy. They've been pretty hectic. I've I've always been like hanging out with people or like doing something that requires me to talk to someone. But luckily this weekend, I'll really chill out. This is the first weekend I'll really get, make like Mulan and get down to business to defeat the Huns. But yeah, that didn't happen. That shit didn't pan out. Saturday, yesterday, I what did I do? I woke up at like 7:45, got ready and stuff. I went somewhere at 9. From 9 to 2:30, I can actually tell you. I recorded a video 9 to 2:30 with Alex Fisher Wagner. His YouTube channel is Craving to Create. And we recorded for 5.5 hours. It wasn't like we recorded the entire 5.5 hours. It was just like I can tell you. We'd made a cooking video, and so like a lot of times with cooking, some of it's clean up, some of it's set up. So the recording is probably only hour and a half, 2 hours long. But I was there for 5.5 hours, and then from there I went to hang out with a friend. We went downtown. We got like a snack and talked for like I think hour and a half, 2 hours. Then I came back here. I had a phone call for like 2 hours. Then I had another phone call for like 2 hours. Um, then I went to Trader Joe's and got these fire uh, pumpkin blondie brownies. Highly recommend them. It's like this pumpkin bread with pecans in it and then white chocolate chips. And then it's drizzled with like this white fudge or something, like this white icing. Oh, icing. Wow, so good. And one will really fill you up. In the little container, there's like 8 little squares, but one will really do the trick, I tell you. I actually, today, that's what I had for breakfast. It's not healthy. I didn't say it was. I'm just telling you what happened, okay? Sometimes, when you recount history, it's not all good, but, some of it's accurate. So it's not a good thing. I didn't tell you because it was good. I told you because it happened. So, do I regret it? Not at all. It was a nice breakfast. Just a thing to get me going in the morning. Pumpkin bread and cup of milk. Wow, a pumpkin brownie. Whew. Did I say this already? It's from Trader Joe's. Probably said that. So good. I highly recommend it. I bet it's seasonal because pumpkins. So get to your local TJ's and max out your experience because that shit's good. But yeah, I went to Trader Joe's after that, and then I came back and it was like I had to like eat dinner, and yeah, that was like the entire day. And then I don't think I did anything that night. I was just like so exhausted. But then I got my 8 hours of sleep, and I woke up this morning, and goddamn, I don't know what it is. Like, I slept 8 hours, but I was still like exhausted, and like my legs were just like tired. And you know what it was? So for the past however long, was like half a year, I've been wearing short sleeve shirt and what shorts, basketball shorts. Like that's what I wear to bed. Basketball shorts, short sleeve shirt. And last night was the first night since, probably like March or whatever, that I was like, oh, I got to get a sweatshirt on. This is cold as fuck. Like I woke up, I was like, like shaking and shit. I was like, I knew I shouldn't have eaten that pumpkin bread going straight to my stomach. That's how food works. Good job, Gauruv. Nice. But yeah, this is the first time, and so you'll notice, I'm donning a sweatshirt here. I don't know if that's how you use that word, but I'm armored up in the good old sweatshirt, and it's good to be back. But here's what I noticed. I was talking to Alex, and we were driving to campus because he needed to get some camera equipment, and I was like, man, I was telling him, I was like, this is the first night that it's been real cold, and he was like, yeah, it's getting cold. He was like, but I love it. I was like, yeah, why is that? He was like, I get to wear all my coats. I have all these like outfits that I love for the wintertime. And he's like, so when it just gets a little chilly, like this morning, I think it was like 43 this morning. He's like, it gets a little chilly. It gives me a perfect excuse to whip out the coat. I'm like, all right, yeah, I could see that. And I did like winter last year. So I was like, wait, what was my problem? And I realized my problem. I have to bike everywhere. Like now we're in person, I have to bike everywhere, and it sucks. I don't know if you've ever biked in the cold. The worst. This happened. Friday morning, I went out at, what was it, like 8:30ish? 8:30ish a.m., 8:40ish. And I woke up and I looked at my phone. It's 48 degrees outside. I'm like, oh shit, that's like kind of cold. So I have these gloves. I don't know if you can see them. I think they're right there. Yeah, they're like that pile right there. Alex actually gifted them to me like 2 years ago. I think I helped him with like a shoot, and then he was like, "Here, this is your gift." I was like, "No way, I get a gift." I tried to steal a shirt. Here, I'll put a picture right here. I tried to steal this shirt, but then he caught me. He was like, "Give it back." I was like, "Sorry." He was like, "You can have this though. It's like a set with like a beanie and like gloves." And oh my god, ever since I got that, I've been wearing those gloves when I bike here. The best. And so I put these gloves on and I went outside and I was like, God, I look like a wimp, Already cracking out the gloves. Early October. God, I look stupid. But I'm biking and then this girl, overtakes me to the left. But she kind of does that thing where she hangs next to you for a little bit. And as she's hanging next to me, she takes both her hands off the bike. And I'm like, ooh, whoa there, Some people can do it. I can't do it. I can do a one-hander sometimes. I can kind of like lift it for like a second and act like I can bike with no hands. But I can only really do a one-hander. That's my extent of my biking, What is it? Prowess? Yeah, my biking prowess. I can only one-hander lander. And then that's really the extent of that. But this girl pulls up next to me and then she takes both her hands off her bike. She's wearing a sweatshirt. And she does that thing where she pulls her sweatshirt over her hands and then she grabs her bike handle again. I was like, yes! Now I'm the normal one because you're just doing the mock version of what I got going on. That's right. I'm a trendsetter. Look at me. UC Davis. I'm influencing the youth of tomorrow. She would not have done that, I guarantee, had I not done that. That's right. Call me up, Kanye. I'm a trendsetter. I did that shit first. Mine just looked uglier, but it was more effective. The gloves look ugly. No, they don't. They look cute as fuck. But the thing is, like, it just looks awkward if you're the only one doing something, Like, you could be normal, but as long... This could be like a one-sentence summary of my upbringing. You could be normal, but as long as you're a minority, you look kind of weird. That basically described my elementary school experience, you know? I was pretty normal. I just looked different. So it was like I thought I was weird, you know? But now, man, that's just melanin. So yeah, it's getting real cold. It's getting real chilly. And so this morning I woke up and I went over to Alex's to get the footage, and I was at what, 10? So 10, and then we like recorded a video, and then that took me like to noon, and then I had to meet with my group for this stupid lab, and that went like an hour or whatever. And then I was just like exhausted. I was real fucking exhausted. So I was like, you know what? Let's take an hour nap. No big deal. So I go to sleep at 1. I wake up at 6. And then, I got to eat. Did he just say his 1 hour nap was 5 hours? Yes. I don't know what happened. I was just extremely exhausted. Because I think Saturday I was really going to like take a break. And then the entire day I was talking to people. And so Sunday my body was like, okay, I'm going to shut down now. It's like when you keep putting off a restart. You ever do that? You keep saying, okay, remind me in 24 hours, remind me in 24 hours. But then there gets to a point where the computer's even like, stop. No, we're doing this now. And I'm like, no, please, I have to do it. No, shut up. Shut the fuck up. We're resetting right now. So that's kind of where I was at 1 p.m. where my body was like, we're going to install the software and then you're going to reboot. Okay. So shut up and go to sleep. And I did. And I woke up, I had dinner, called my mom, did some homework, recorded a video, which hopefully will be out this week. And now I'm doing this. So yeah, still really no break. I hate school. I hate school, but I love my school. UC Davis, home of the Ags. Go Aggies. That's right. I've been trained. I'm media trained, baby. Oh, man. So, yeah. And now midterms are next week and just so much shit to do this week. Someone was telling me about sleep hygiene earlier this week. And they were like, you should work on your sleep. And I was like, yeah, I know. But come on, realistically, I could probably fix it. I'm just not that disciplined, so I don't want to. School's interesting. Yeah, but I haven't posted in 3 weeks on YouTube. But hey, guess what? I have 5 entire videos recorded. And I just need to edit them now. And then I did that one with Alex. So that's, I guess video number 6. It'll be on his channel, but like he'll edit it and everything. So like I have 6 full ass videos that I want to show the world. I have to edit them. I have to take the time to edit them. That's a bummer. But just know I have content. Like, and I also have other ideas like that are fully like I'm going to do them and I'm like working on them. So yeah. You already know this. I mean, I've been on the website for like, 4 years? I'm not going to stop anytime soon. That's the thing. I can't stop, or else it'll be embarrassing. It'll be like, oh my God, did he give up? Yeah, I can't do that. I've been hoisted by my own petard, Right when I started, I knew, I can't stop. It's like a drug, except it's not addicting. It's just, it's like if you were afraid of people judging you for not being addicted anymore. It's like, hey, you still doing heroin? And it's like, no. And they're like, what? I mean, you spent so long on it. Why are you not doing it all of a sudden? And it's like, I don't know. I just not interested anymore. And they're like, wow. Didn't know you were so weak-spirited. Not a good analogy. But no. So yeah, no, I like, the other thing that's keeping me going is I like making videos. And that's what I always tell people. People ask me like, well, what do I need to know before like I make a YouTube channel, or like if I want to do YouTube? And I'm like, well, make what you like, and like, well, and not even that, just like you have to like doing it or else you're going to give up very quickly. Like, I mean, I see it at least in the Davis sphere. every time, a new class comes in, there's a new crop. There's a handful of people that make YouTube videos. And I mean, there's people that still make the videos, but like for the most part, I mean, very large majority of them just stop because college is so demanding. I was actually talking to someone today that told me, "Hey, did you know I made YouTube videos when I came to college?" I was like, "No shot, really?" And they sent me a link to their channel. It was one video, but I was like, "Why'd you stop? And why did I not know about this sooner?" And they're like, "I just didn't have time. I ran out of time." I'm like, "That's relatable." So that's the thing. Like, that's why whenever freshmen, I see it happens freshman year. Like freshmen always pump out these like vlogs and these videos, and they get views because it's a very unique perspective. No one else is a freshman except a freshman. As dumb as that sounds, it's the reflexive property, right? A equals B, B equals A, or whatever. Um, or is it the qualitative property? A equals A? I don't know. Proofs are stupid. Um, Geometry is not all it's shaped up to be. But yeah, and then people are like, "Wow, this person looks like they're gonna keep making videos." I'm like, "Yeah, but wait till sophomore year. Sophomore year, everything changes. You're not in the dorms. You're doing apartment living. Now you got to find a way to get onto campus, whether that's commuting on the bus, with your car, with your bike, walking. Um, Classes are just now inherently more demanding. Like I've talked about this. You might still take a math, history, English class, right? Your second year, but now it's the next level of math, history, English. So it will just be more difficult because that's all new material. It's more demanding. And so things like YouTube, if you do them, with your free time, well, you can't really do anymore because that free time slowly gets chipped away, Where's my tote and shit? Because, free time starts whittling away. And so I talked to some people and they're like, "Wow, look at this. Look at this. How many creators are there?" I'm like, "Yeah, but for now." And it stops very early. Like a lot of these freshmen, it only lasts in fall. Like fall, they make the vlogs and then winter happens. Winter is a bitch, man. That was the name of my ex, Winter. Yeah, really, really great name, right? But man, she was the worst. No, Winter sucks. Winter wasn't that bad remotely, because you just get to stay indoors. Man, Winter in person, a whole nother animal. As Kobe said, are you a different animal but the same beast? It's a different animal, but ooh, different quarter, but it's a whole, it's a beast. I'm even getting scared thinking about it. I only got one more of those left, thank God. But man, biking in the rain, ugh, people get sick, coughing on shit. Ugh. Hate that. The excitement of coming back to college is gone. That's the thing. There's nothing that you're hot off of, and there's nothing to look forward to. Because here's what I've always heard, like, and it makes sense. Fall. So fall, you just came off of summer, and you're like, "Yes, let's get back to school. I'm seeing everyone. Hell yeah. Hey, what's that? Oh my God, 3 weeks of Christmas break and Christmas? Like, that's so fun. Holy shit, I have so much to look forward to." And then you come off of Christmas. You got all these New Year's resolutions you're lying to yourself about. You just spend time with family, but it's 3 weeks, so it's like 1 week too long, and you start hating everyone. And then you come back to school, and you're like, "Well, this is nice to be back." But then it's rainy. Seasonal depression. The clouds are out, it's rainy, people are sniffling and shit. And you're like, "Well, at least I'll get through this and I'll get..." Is that 1 week of spring break? Holy shit. Is that all I get? Wait, but I got 3 weeks last. It just, okay, that's normal? Sure. Yeah. You have like a week of spring break to look forward to. And that's when you do all your maintenance, That's when you do your like dentist appointments, you get like a haircut, you do your eye test, your hearing test. You have like a vacation. You do like a thing, and then boom, 10 more weeks of school, or 11 weeks if you count finals week. But then spring, you get to look forward to summer. But that's the thing. You're not coming hot off of something with winter and you're not like looking forward to anything in winter. It's just kind of there and it's raining too. So it doesn't have much going for it. And so that the point of me shitting on winter quarter is because it's even that much harder to make YouTube videos during that time because it is such a shit time. And so that's when a lot of them disappear. And it's like, oh, well, you want to do it in spring? And they're like, whatever. I mean, I was just doing it for fun. I don't want to do it. And then they give up. Spring quarter is when they have to really decide, like, am I going to keep doing it? Or am I going to give up? And I find most of them give up. And that's not like anything against them. It's just a choice. You have to truly evaluate, do I like doing this? Like, why am I doing this? To document it? To gain a following? You really got to ask yourself those questions. And a lot of time, people just choose to live life. They're like, let me not take the time to do that because it's not worth it. Let's just take pictures everywhere we go, and that's how we'll document things. But that's why I've kept doing it, because I do like doing it. I like making these videos. I like the opportunities it's given me in life, and I like the people I've met because of it. I mean, that just goes with the opportunities thing. But to me, the ROI is there. It's worth it to keep doing this because it is what I want in life. So yeah. We'll see what happens. There's people making stuff now. I'll see if they keep doing it. But yeah, that's my like one big piece of advice. And people think it's like, maybe it's flippant or it's like too simple, but I think there's a lot of depth to that statement where it's like, only do it if you really love it. That doesn't mean you can't do it if you don't really love it. I'm just saying, be prepared that, you might want to stop doing it after a while if you already know that you don't love it. Because we've seen in relationships, even if you love something, after a certain time, maybe you do want to step away from it. Oh no. I've not see. I have a joke, but I feel weird because Alec, you just got engaged, so I don't. It feels uncomfortable telling this joke, but this doesn't apply to you. Let's just say that. But I'm noticing like a lot of people, because you're older than me, so it's fine. But a lot of people my age, I've noticed, have now gotten like engaged, like that I went to school with, and another person I got engaged this week that I went to high school with, and I never had this thought. I don't know why I had this thought. Maybe this was the straw that broke the camel's back, but I saw this person get engaged from my high school, and I was like, huh, another one. I wonder who's going to get divorced first. Because in high school, you're always like, who's going to get married first? Who's going to have a kid first? But now I've seen both of those. So I'm like, well, what's next? Oh my God, who's going to get divorced first? Like, who from my high school? I think there's just been that many couples that now I'm like, okay, it seems like everyone's kind of done it now. Oh, but people can get divorced. And that's the thing, maybe they do love them right now. But, people change. Interests change. What you want out of life and a partner, it might change. But yes. This does not apply to you, Alec. But I wrote this down. It applies to every other person. Yeah. I just want to see who from my high school is going to get divorced first. I feel like we're not having that conversation. So I just want to be the person that starts it, I'm going to start hitting up like engaged and married couples that I went to high school with and be like, so really, how's it going? I'm going to like try to push it a little bit. Was it because you guys lived close to each other or what? Circumstantial, huh? Yeah. Go ahead, tell me 3 things you love about them. Struggling to do 2, huh? Oof. Yikes. And the first one was really more about you than the other person. But yeah. But then you got to think about life. you'll never be certain about anything in life. So sometimes you can't wait to truly love something or wait for something to be completely perfect before you pull the trigger. Sometimes you just have to pull the trigger. So, yeah. Don't wait up. Just do it. This was all one elaborate Nike ad. So, yeah. That was this podcast. I hope to have a video out this week. And people are still listening to this podcast. And I want to say thank you so much. Numbers are doing well. So, thanks for listening, watching, whatever you call it. And I'll talk at you next week. Okay? Bye.